Introduction: Shadows of Solitude. Nestled between emerald hills and quaint cottages, the small town of Elmridge boasted a community where everyone knew each other's stories. Yet, on the outskirts of this charming town, there existed a figure who defied the tapestry of familiarity, the enigmatic Jeff. Cloaked in a perpetual air of mystery, Jeff lived a solitary existence, his presence casting a shadow on the periphery of Elmridge. This is a tale that unfolds in 9 chapters, a narrative woven with threads of romance, mystery, and the haunting echoes of a tragic past. It begins with the solitary life of Jeff, a man whose stoic demeanor and guarded heart set him apart from the close-knit townsfolk. His name, whispered in hushed tones, became synonymous with an impenetrable solitude that left curious minds yearning for answers. In Chapter 2, we delve into the essence of Jeff's mysterious persona. His tall figure, swathed in dark attire, traverses the outskirts of Elmridge like a shadowy apparition. The townsfolk exchange tales of fleeting glimpses and rare encounters, weaving a web of speculation around the man who seemed to prefer the company of his own thoughts. As the story unfurls in Chapter 3, a somber note blankets Elmridge. Rumors of a tragedy, a love lost, and a shattered heart reach the ears of the townspeople. Jeff's past, previously veiled in secrecy, now emerges as a poignant tale of heartbreak and emotional turmoil, explaining his reluctance to embrace the bonds of trust anew. Chapter 4 delves into the haunting memories that define Jeff's existence. Love, once a beacon of promise, had been extinguished abruptly, leaving him to navigate the depths of grief and solitude. The townsfolk, now privy to the scars etched upon Jeff's soul, grapple with the weight of collective sorrow for the man who carried the burdens of an unspoken past. Enter Chapter 5, where the narrative takes an unexpected turn. A young woman named Emily, her curiosity piqued by the man who stood on the outskirts of Elmridge, steps forward to unravel the mysteries that enshroud Jeff. Her warmth and compassion become a stark contrast to Jeff's somber demeanor, setting the stage for an unforeseen connection that defies the boundaries of solitude. As the story progresses through Chapters 6 and 7, Emily becomes the key to unlocking the layers of Jeff's pain. Together, they navigate the intricacies of a newfound companionship, with shared moments and unspoken understanding. Elmridge, once skeptical of Jeff's presence, witnesses the transformation of a solitary man who begins to open his heart to the possibility of happiness. Yet, shadows of doubt loom in Chapter 8, testing the strength of the bond between Jeff and Emily. The scars of Jeff's past threaten to resurface, casting a pall over the blossoming connection. Emily, undeterred by the challenges, stands resolute, determined to bring light to the darkest corners of Jeff's heart. In the final chapter, Chapter 9, our tale reaches its crescendo. Jeff and Emily confront the ghosts of the past, emerging stronger from shared struggles and unwavering support. The town, once divided in its opinions, witnesses a love story that defies tragedy. As Jeff and Emily walk hand in hand, the once mysterious outsider finds a ray of hope in the warmth of true companionship. This is a story of shadows and solitude, of love lost and found, and of the transformative power of human connection. Join us on this journey through the heartstrings of Elmridge as we unravel the mysteries that lie beneath the surface, and discover the enduring beauty that emerges from the shadows of solitude.
Chapter 1: The Solitary Life. In the heart of Elmridge, a picturesque town framed by gentle, rolling hills and cozy cottages, there existed a character that defied the conventional narratives that defined the community. His name was Jeff, a man whose presence loomed on the outskirts of town, casting a shadow on the vibrant tapestry of Elmridge life. In a modest house nestled just beyond the town's borders, Jeff led a life cloaked in mystery and solitude. Jeff's abode, though unassuming in appearance, radiated an aura of secrecy. The curtains were perpetually drawn, obscuring the view into his world, and the door rarely opened to welcome guests. The townsfolk spoke of this enigmatic resident in hushed tones, his name circulating like a whispered secret among neighbors gathered in bustling town squares. The house itself seemed to absorb the essence of Jeff's solitary existence. Ivy clung to the weathered bricks, and a sense of quiet seclusion enveloped the property. Elmridge, a town where communal bonds were cherished, found itself both intrigued and mystified by the man who chose to live just beyond the edge of familiarity. Jeff's solitude was not merely a physical state, it permeated his every interaction, or rather, lack thereof, with the townsfolk. He was a recluse, a solitary figure who, despite living in close proximity, remained elusive to the community's attempts at engagement. Rare were the occasions when he ventured into town, and when he did, it was with an air of quiet reservation that discouraged any attempts at conversation. The townspeople, accustomed to the warmth of shared stories and laughter, found themselves simultaneously drawn to unwary of Jeff's solitary life. They couldn't help but wonder about the stories that echoed within the walls of his modest abode, the tales that shaped the contours of his stoic countenance. Speculation became a communal pastime, and Jeff's name became synonymous with an air of mystery that transcended the boundaries of his physical dwelling. As the sun dipped below the hills, casting long shadows over Elmridge, Jeff's silhouette would occasionally be glimpsed against the fading light. His tall figure, draped in dark clothing, seemed to blend seamlessly with the twilight, further intensifying the aura of enigma that surrounded him. Eyes, often shielded by the brim of a hat, betrayed little emotion as they surveyed the landscape with a detached gaze. The curiosity within Elmridge swelled, and with it, a collective desire to unravel the mystery of Jeff's solitary life. Rumors, as ephemeral as the evening breeze, whispered through the town stories of a past that left its mark on Jeff's soul, shaping the contours of his present existence. Yet, despite the conjectures and the occasional stolen glances, the true narrative of Jeff's solitary life remained elusive, locked within the confines of his guarded heart. In Chapter 1, the stage is set for a journey into the depths of Jeff's enigmatic world. Elmridge, a town bound by shared stories and interconnected lives, finds itself at the precipice of an exploration into the shadows of solitude. Jeff, the solitary man on the outskirts, stands as a silent protagonist, his story waiting to unfold, and the community poised on the brink of discovery, eager to unravel the mysteries that lie beneath the surface of the town's most elusive resident.
Chapter 2: The Enigmatic Stranger. In the quaint town of Elmridge, nestled between rolling hills and a close-knit community, the enigmatic presence of Jeff continued to weave a captivating tale. Despite residing on the outskirts, his influence extended far beyond the boundaries of his modest dwelling. Jeff's aura, shrouded in mystery, left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness of the townsfolk, creating an air of intrigue that lingered like a whispered secret. His tall silhouette, draped in dark, nondescript clothing, became a distinctive feature against the backdrop of Elmridge's serene landscape. Like a spectre moving at the edges of twilight, Jeff's figure occasionally emerged, casting long shadows that danced along the edges of the town. The townspeople, attuned to the rhythms of their daily lives,
couldn't help but notice the enigmatic stranger who seemed to exist on the fringes of their interconnected world. Whispers traversed the cobblestone streets and quaint squares as the townsfolk exchanged tales of Jeff's elusive wanderings. Every step he took along the edges of town became a subject of speculation, a canvas upon which the community painted its own interpretations of the enigmatic stranger. The occasional rustling of leaves, the hushed footsteps, and the fleeting glimpses of Jeff's tall frame fueled the imagination of Elmridge's residents. The locals, gathered in clusters at the town's various meeting spots, would cast furtive glances in Jeff's direction, their conversations hushed as if afraid that speaking too loudly might break the delicate thread connecting them to the mystery that walked among them. The brim of Jeff's hat shielded his eyes from prying gazes, adding an extra layer of intrigue to the silhouette that moved with a quiet purpose along the town's periphery. It was not merely Jeff's physical presence that captured the town's attention, it was the energy he carried, a palpable air of detachment that spoke of a life lived on the outskirts of societal norms. Elmridge, a town where shared stories were the lifeblood of community bonds, found itself captivated by the stranger who seldom uttered a word. Jeff's silence became a canvas onto which the townsfolk projected their own narratives, each one more fantastical than the last. His piercing gaze, though rarely met by those around him, seemed to carry the weight of untold stories. Eyes that betrayed a depth of experience and a guarded soul fueled the rumors circulating through Elmridge. The townspeople, always eager for tales that added color to their daily lives, found in Jeff's mysterious demeanor a narrative that stirred the imagination and begged for exploration. As the whispers echoed through the town squares and narrow alleys, Elmridge became a stage for the unfolding drama of the enigmatic stranger. Jeff, with his guarded demeanor and the air of a man carrying the weight of untold burdens, stood as a silent protagonist against the backdrop of a community that yearned to decode the mysteries veiled beneath the surface. Chapter 2, The Saga of the Enigmatic Stranger, marked a continuation of the exploration into Jeff's world. Elmridge, now captivated by the spectre that moved along its edges, stood at the crossroads of curiosity and imagination, poised on the brink of unraveling the layers of mystery that cloaked the solitary figure in dark clothing, the stranger whose presence left an indelible mark on the tapestry of this charming town.
Chapter 3, Unspoken Tragedy. In the quaint town of Elmridge, where the rustling leaves and the cobbled streets held echoes of shared stories, a singular event cast a somber veil over the community. One day, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of amber and indigo, whispers of a tragic incident reached the ears of Elmridge residents. The news centered around the enigmatic figure known as Jeff, and the town found itself enshrouded in a collective atmosphere of mourning and empathy. The details of Jeff's past, previously obscured by the shadows of speculation, began to surface like leaves carried by the wind. The townsfolk, tethered by curiosity and empathy, learned of a lost love and a shattered heart that defined the enigmatic stranger's existence. Jeff, whose stoic exterior had been a canvas for the community's projections and assumptions, was now revealed to carry the weight of an unspoken tragedy. The narrative unfolded like pages turning in a book, revealing a chapter in Jeff's life that explained the layers of solitude and guardedness. Whispers traversed Elmridge squares and alleyways, carrying tales of a romance that had once blossomed with promises of forever. The townspeople, who had only glimpsed the external shell of the mysterious man, now found themselves peering into the depths of a world veiled in pain and heartache. A collective sorrow washed over Elmridge as the realization dawned that the enigmatic Jeff, with his guarded demeanor and haunted gaze, was not merely a figure of intrigue but a soul scarred by the vicissitudes of love and loss. The communal empathy, which had once been tinged with curiosity, now transformed into a profound understanding of the burdens Jeff carried. The town squares, once abuzz with lively chatter, now echoed with muted conversations as the residents grappled with the revelation of Jeff's unspoken tragedy. Elmridge, a place where shared joys and sorrows formed the fabric of communal life, felt an empathetic ache for the man who had stood on the outskirts of their interconnected world, nursing wounds that transcended the physical. In the wake of this revelation, the townsfolk began to view Jeff with a newfound compassion. The once mysterious man, who had seemed to exist on the fringes of their lives, was now seen as a fellow traveler on the journey of life, navigating the treacherous terrain of heartbreak and loss. The collective gaze shifted from speculative curiosity to a shared acknowledgement of the fragility that bound them all. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows over the town squares, Jeff's silhouette, once a symbol of mystery, became a poignant reminder of the universal struggles that united Elmridge. Chapter 3, the chapter of unspoken tragedy, left an indelible mark on the town's narrative, transforming the perception of the enigmatic stranger into that of a wounded soul whose stoic exterior concealed a world of pain, a man whose journey through sorrow would now be intertwined with the empathetic threads of Elmridge's communal tapestry.
Chapter 4, The Haunting Past. The town of Elmridge, still reeling from the revelation of Jeff's unspoken tragedy, found itself drawn deeper into the labyrinth of his past as Chapter 4 unfolded, the chapter of the haunting past. The once mysterious figure, whose enigmatic presence had stirred whispers and speculation, now became the central character in a narrative that transcended the confines of the present. As the townspeople leaned in, eager to unravel the layers of Jeff's history, the story unfolded like a sepia-tone tableau, revealing the details of a love that had once flourished amidst the idyllic landscape of Elmridge. Jeff, the solitary man who had seemed impervious to the charms of communal bonds, had once embraced a romance that held promises of forever, a love that would come to define the contours of his solitary existence. The tale began with the meeting of two souls, entwined by the threads of fate amidst the rolling hills and the whispered secrets of Elmridge. Jeff, in the throes of a love so profound it transcended the ordinary, found himself captivated by a companion whose laughter echoed like a melody through the corridors of his heart. Their love story, a poignant chapter in the annals of Elmridge, unfolded against a backdrop of shared dreams and whispered promises. The romance blossomed like the vibrant flowers that adorned the town squares, casting a radiant hue over Jeff's stoic exterior. The townsfolk, now intimately connected to the narrative, saw glimpses of a different Jeff, the one who had once walked hand in hand with a kindred spirit, his guarded demeanor replaced by a warmth that had been reserved for a chosen few. However, as the story progressed, the idyllic landscape of love gave way to the shadows of tragedy. The townspeople, held captive by the words that wove this intricate tapestry, learned of the fateful day when promises of forever were abruptly torn away. Elmridge, once a witness to the flourishing love between Jeff and his companion, now became the stage upon which the haunting memories of that day played out. The once vibrant hues of their shared dreams were replaced by a somber palette, and the echoes of laughter transformed into the haunting whispers of grief. Elmridge Squares, which had once reverberated with the joyous symphony of community life, now seemed to resonate with the melancholic strains of a love story interrupted by the cruel hands of fate. Jeff, left to navigate the depths of grief alone, became a solitary figure haunted by the spectre of loss. The vibrant town, once a backdrop to their love story, now bore witness to the poignant dance between memory and solitude. The shadow cast by the haunting past enveloped Jeff's every step, a reminder of a love that had slipped through his fingers like grains of sand. Chapter 4 served as a poignant reminder that the scars of the past, though hidden beneath the surface, could shape the contours of the present. Elmridge, now intimately acquainted with the layers of Jeff's haunting past, stood on the precipice of empathy, the town's collective heartache merging with that of the enigmatic man who had once dared to embrace a love destined for eternity, an eternity that now lingered in the haunting whispers of memory.
Chapter 5: An Unexpected Connection. In the quietude of Elmridge, where the echoes of Chapter 4's haunting past lingered like a melancholic refrain, a new chapter began to unfold, the chapter of an unexpected connection. Jeff, the enigmatic figure whose stoic exterior bore the weight of a haunting love story, found himself unwittingly drawn into the orbit of an unlikely force, Emily. Emily, a young woman with a heart as warm as the golden hues that painted Elmridge at dusk, noticed Jeff from a distance. In a town where communal bonds were cherished, her attention was inexplicably captivated by the solitary man who seemed untouched by the ebb and flow of daily affairs. It was as if the currents of curiosity and empathy that now flowed through the town had found a vessel in Emily, guiding her toward the mystery that Jeff embodied. Undeterred by the hushed whispers and speculative gazes that had defined Jeff's presence in Elmridge, Emily embarked on a personal mission to unravel the layers of mystery surrounding him. Her steps, light and purposeful, carried her toward the outskirts of town, where Jeff's modest abode stood as a testament to his solitude. The townsfolk, who had once been observers of Jeff's enigmatic existence, now became spectators of an unforeseen narrative unfolding in their midst. Emily's warm and caring nature, a stark contrast to Jeff's somber demeanor, acted as a gentle breeze that began to sway the branches of the solitary man's guarded exterior. She approached him not with the probing questions of the townspeople, but with a genuine curiosity and a willingness to understand the man behind the mystery. Her eyes, devoid of judgment, sought to bridge the gap between Jeff's world and the interconnected lives of Elmridge. Their encounters, initially marked by the cautious dance of unfamiliarity, gradually evolved into shared moments of quiet understanding. Emily, with an innate ability to read the unspoken language of emotions, became a silent companion to Jeff's solitary walks along the edges of town. Conversations, though sparse, unfolded with a sincerity that transcended the need for words, forming the foundation of an unexpected connection. Elmridge, now privy to this budding relationship, witnessed a transformation in the dynamics that had once defined Jeff's presence. Emily, like a beacon of warmth in the midst of his solitude, became a source of comfort and companionship. The town, which had initially regarded Jeff with a mix of curiosity and empathy, now saw a different side of the mysterious figure, one touched by the gentle influence of an unexpected connection. As Chapter 5 unfolded, the narrative shifted from the shadows of the past to the possibilities of the present. Emily, with her unwavering kindness, became a catalyst for change, a bridge between the enigmatic and the familiar. Elmridge, always a repository of shared stories, now bore witness to a tale of unexpected connections, where the warmth of one heart began to melt the icy walls of another. The once guarded Jeff found himself navigating uncharted territories, and Emily, the orchestrator of this serendipitous union, became the beacon that illuminated the path toward a connection that defied the expectations of a town accustomed to familiar tales.
Chapter 6: Breaking Down Barriers. In the heart of Elmridge, where the symphony of shared stories continued to play its melancholic tune, Chapter 6 marked a pivotal moment in the unfolding narrative, the chapter of breaking down barriers. Emily, the compassionate force that had forged an unexpected connection with the mysterious Jeff, persisted in her mission to dismantle the emotional walls that encased his wounded heart. Undeterred by the formidable barriers of solitude and pain, Emily approached Jeff with a resilience that mirrored the spirit of Elmridge itself. She recognized that beneath the stoic exterior, beneath the layers of unspoken sorrow, there existed a soul yearning to be seen and understood. In her quest to unravel the depths of Jeff's pain, Emily became a silent protagonist in the unfolding drama of healing and redemption. Her efforts were deliberate and tender, like the petals of a flower unfurling in the soft light of dawn. Emily, with each step, each shared moment, sought to earn Jeff's trust. Their encounters, once marked by the distance of guarded gazes, transformed into a dance of vulnerability and acceptance. The townsfolk, now invested in the unexpected bond that had blossomed on the outskirts of Elmridge, watched as Emily became a beacon of hope in Jeff's solitary world. As the chapters turned, so did the dynamics between Emily and Jeff. They began to spend more time together, the moments they shared becoming a respite from the weight of Jeff's haunted past. Their walks along the edges of town, once solitary journeys for Jeff, now became avenues of shared silence and unspoken understanding. The town, always a silent witness to the intricacies of human connection, saw the gradual erosion of the barriers that had defined Jeff's existence. Through shared moments, Emily gently began to peel back the layers of Jeff's pain. Conversations, initially tinged with the weight of the unspoken, evolved into a tapestry of shared confidences. Emily's quiet strength and empathetic nature provided a safe haven for Jeff to confront the ghosts that haunted the corridors of his heart. The shadows of his past, once cast long and dark, began to recede in the face of Emily's unwavering presence. Elmridge, a town intimately acquainted with the ebb and flow of human emotions, now stood witness to a transformative journey. Emily, armed with compassion and a genuine desire to heal, became the catalyst for Jeff's emergence from the shadows of solitude. As the barriers crumbled, the once guarded man found solace in the understanding gaze of his newfound confidant. Chapter 6, the chapter of breaking down barriers, became a testament to the resilience of human connection. In the gentle unraveling of Jeff's pain, Emily not only became a healer of wounds but also a weaver of a new narrative, one where the haunted past gave way to the possibilities of a shared future. The townsfolk, once spectators to a tale of mystery and solitude, now became participants in a story of courage, vulnerability, and the redemptive power of human connection that echoed through the cobbled streets and quaint squares of Elmridge.
Chapter 7: A Glimmer of Happiness. In the heart of Elmridge, where the pages of the narrative turned with the cadence of shared lives, Chapter 7 unfolded, the chapter of a glimmer of happiness. The once mysterious figure, Jeff, found himself navigating uncharted emotions as his bond with Emily deepened. Her presence, like a gentle breeze sweeping through the cobblestone streets, acted as a soothing balm to his wounded soul. As Emily persisted in breaking down the barriers that had long confined Jeff to the shadows of solitude, a profound transformation took root. Their shared moments, once marked by the weight of unspoken pain, began to evolve into a harmonious dance of mutual understanding. The townsfolk, who had initially regarded Jeff with a mix of curiosity and empathy, now bore witness to a man in the midst of a poignant metamorphosis. In the quietude of their shared walks and conversations, Jeff found solace in Emily's company. Her warmth and compassion, like a healing salve, penetrated the depths of his wounded heart. The once guarded man, whose stoic exterior had been a testament to the scars of a haunting past, now stood on the precipice of a newfound emotional landscape. Elmridge, a town whose communal bonds were woven with the threads of shared joys and sorrows, witnessed the subtle yet profound changes in Jeff's demeanor. The skepticism that had lingered in the air began to dissipate, replaced by an atmosphere of quiet acceptance. The transformation, though gradual, was palpable, an undercurrent of change that permeated the very essence of the community. As the sun cast its golden glow over the town squares, Jeff's once haunted gaze began to reflect a glimmer of happiness. Emily, with her unwavering presence and genuine care, had become the catalyst for this transformative shift. The town, ever attuned to the stories that unfolded within its embrace, embraced the evolving narrative with open hearts. Their shared moments became a beacon of hope, illuminating the possibility of happiness that lay beyond the shadows of the past. Jeff, once tethered to the weight of unspoken sorrows, now stood at the threshold of a future where the echoes of laughter and the warmth of companionship hinted at the prospect of a new beginning. Chapter 7 became a testament to the redemptive power of human connection. Emily, with her kindness and understanding, had not only broken down the emotional barriers but had also become a source of light in the once solitary life of Jeff. The town, ever resilient in its capacity for empathy, embraced the unfolding tale, a tale where a glimmer of happiness emerged from the depths of sorrow, and the once mysterious man began to discover the transformative potential of embracing the possibility of joy once more.
Chapter 8: Shadows of Doubt. As the narrative unfolded in Elmridge, Chapter 8 emerged, the chapter of Shadows of Doubt. The town, which had witnessed the blossoming of an unexpected connection and a glimmer of happiness between Jeff and Emily, now found itself confronted by the shadows that threatened to cast doubt over their newfound bond. Jeff's haunted past, like a spectre lingering at the edges of their shared journey, threatened to resurface with a persistence that mirrored the shadows stretching across the town squares at dusk. The scars etched upon his soul, once temporarily eclipsed by the warmth of Emily's companionship, now stood as a testament to the challenges that loomed on the horizon. Elmridge, having embraced the evolving story of Jeff and Emily with open hearts, now faced the complexities inherent in navigating a relationship scarred by the ghosts of a haunting past. The once skeptical townsfolk, who had observed the transformation of the mysterious man, now became witnesses to a chapter where doubts cast their looming shadows over the newfound connection. The air in Elmridge, once fragrant with the promise of shared joy, now carried a weight of uncertainty. Whispers, tinged with concern, wafted through the cobblestone streets as the townspeople grappled with the challenges that emerged. The town, a silent spectator to the human drama unfolding within its borders, held its collective breath as the relationship between Jeff and Emily encountered the shadows of doubt. Yet, amidst the looming uncertainty, Emily emerged as a steadfast beacon of support. Undeterred by the challenges posed by Jeff's haunted past, she stood by his side with unwavering determination. Her commitment, like a steady flame against the encroaching darkness, symbolized a resilience that refused to be extinguished by the shadows that threatened their newfound connection. Jeff, grappling with the resurgence of his past, found in Emily's steadfast presence a source of strength. She became the guiding light that navigated the labyrinthine corridors of doubt, offering reassurance and understanding in the face of the looming shadows. The townsfolk, who had once observed the transformation of their solitary neighbor, now saw a narrative that transcended the surface of their interactions, a story of love and resilience in the face of adversity. Chapter 8 became a testament to the complexities inherent in human relationships. The shadows of doubt, though ominous, also became a crucible where the strength of Jeff and Emily's connection was tested. Emily, standing resolute in the face of uncertainty, embodied the transformative power of unwavering support and commitment. Elmridge, ever attuned to the nuances of shared stories, found itself at a crossroads, a juncture where doubt cast its shadows, but also where the resilience of love had the potential to illuminate even the darkest corners of the heart. As the narrative unfolded, the town awaited the resolution of this chapter, poised on the brink of discovering whether the shadows that threatened their newfound connection would dissipate or deepen into a poignant reality.
Chapter 9: A Ray of Hope. In the quietude of Elmridge, where the intertwining of lives painted the town's narrative, Chapter 9 unfolded, the chapter of A Ray of Hope. As the culmination of Jeff and Emily's journey, this final chapter stood as a testament to the transformative power of love and resilience, resolution to the shadows that had cast doubt over their newfound connection. In this concluding chapter, Jeff and Emily confronted the ghosts of the past head-on. The echoes of Jeff's haunted history, once looming like specters on the periphery of their relationship, became a focal point for shared struggles and unyielding support. Emily, the unwavering force that had stood by Jeff's side, became a beacon of light in the face of the lingering shadows. The town of Elmridge, having traversed the myriad emotions of curiosity, empathy, doubt, and hope, now found itself at the crossroads of resolution. The once skeptical townsfolk, who had observed the evolution of the mysterious man into a figure entwined with the warmth of companionship, awaited the denouement of this intricate tale. Jeff and Emily, bound by the threads of shared experiences, emerged from the crucible of doubt and uncertainty stronger than before. The shadows of the past, though persistent, were confronted with a resilience that defied tragedy. Their journey became a testament to the redemptive power of love, a love that had weathered the storms of haunted memories and emerged on the other side, bathed in the gentle glow of newfound understanding. As the sun dipped below the hills, casting a warm hue over Elmridge squares, Jeff and Emily walked hand in hand, a poignant tableau that spoke of triumph over adversity. The town, once divided in its opinions, now stood unified in its acknowledgement of a love story that transcended the boundaries of solitude and pain. Jeff, the once mysterious outsider, found in Emily's companionship a ray of hope that pierced through the lingering shadows of his past. The warmth of true companionship, the shared struggles, and the unspoken understanding had become the catalysts for healing, transforming a solitary man into someone embraced by the embrace of love. Chapter 9, the final chapter of this tale, became a celebration of the human spirit's capacity for resilience and transformation. Elmridge, forever a repository of shared stories, witnessed the conclusion of a narrative that had woven its way through the hearts of its residents. Jeff and Emily, standing at the heart of this final chapter, proved that even the most mysterious hearts could find solace and healing in the embrace of love, a love that defied tragedy and emerged as a radiant ray of hope in the twilight of their shared journey.